guys, welcome back to our channel, Get Spooky Society. We're back at AMVETS, which was a little school, and we are here tonight with June, who went to school here, and I went to school with June's daughter. So she wanted to come back here, and we found out after we were here the last time that she was actually really good friends, if not best friends, with one of the girls that perished in a house fire, who may or may not be here, along with her sisters as today. And so we're back here to talk to June. She's going to give us a tour, let us know what it was like back then, and then we're just going to talk about things. We've got some equipment set up, see what happens. So it's time to
get spooky.
Hopefully you remember the first 2 episodes of our AMVETS Post 13 investigation and also recall that it used to be a school. If not, the links are in the description below. June, a family friend and loyal viewer, reached out to us to say that she had gone to school there and was best friends with one of the girls that perished when her house burned. We went back through the footage and she confirmed a lot of our evidence. This is in part 2. Recently, we took June to AMVETS and she took us on a tour and told us what it was like when she went to school there. She then got to reach out to her best friend's spirit and tell her she has carried her memory around with her for all of these years. We were able to bring some peace to June and hopefully her long-lost friend Karen. This is one of the reasons why we do what we do.
Hi June, how are you today?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be back here. I haven't been here for 60 years.
Oh my goodness.
And I went to school here, 1st through 8th.
Oh wow.
And back then, this staircase seemed so huge.
Because you were this tall.
Yeah. And this room back here, this was the paddle room.
Paddle room.
Oh
If you got a
no.
paddle, they took you in here.
Uh-oh. We don't want to go in there then.
No. And on Fridays, though, it was a makeshift kitchen.
Okay.
They fixed us chili. We had chili and milk, but only on Fridays.
Huh. Interesting.
Is this where the bathroom was?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the boys' bath right there.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else about this side?
Locked.
What was in there?
It was the library as such,
Okay.
but also we put our wet boots on the register.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was a happy room.
Oh.
Paddle room, not so much.
Gotcha.
And up here, this classroom was Mrs. Wood's. It was the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And my desk was right here.
Yeah.
And my desk was over there when I was in 5th grade. And I kind of had, well, I talked a lot, I guess, in class. And there was a chalkboard here. And if someone was bad, Mrs. Woods would draw a circle on the chalkboard, and you had to put your nose in it and stand with your hands behind your back.
And that would have been on this wall in here?
That wall, yep.
So that was not open, right?
Right, it
That
was a chalkboard.
Okay.
Looks like they just took the chalkboard out.
Okay.
Put this in.
All right.
Excellent. And just for the viewers, I went to school with June's daughter, Julie. And now I know where Julie gets her chattiness. Awesome. So you said what grades?
This was 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Okay. All right. Was that chalkboard there like
Yes.
that? Okay. And you face that way? You face that way?
No, we faced
This way?
actually.
Oh, okay.
Because there was a chalkboard here as well.
Okay. So they face this way.
Gotcha.
All right. You feeling anything in this room?
Now,
I'm with you.
was a hallway here.
A hallway? Yeah.
Yeah, and the fire escape door is still there. And so the wall here right out here was the candy machine.
Candy machine, okay?
And there was one boy that would have seizures, so they kept the cot out here in the hallway for him to lie down on when he had a seizure. So face this way. This was the 6th, 7th, and 8th grades.
Okay.
And that chalkboard there, I remember having to write math problems on it, which was a real bore.
Yeah. So you went here all through 1st through 8th grade?
1st through 8th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else about this room that you could think of interestingly?
Well, there was a piano that set up there. And you know, back in that day, we had emergency air raid drills.
Yeah.
And we'd have to climb under our desk. And there was one girl who always climbed under the piano.
That's probably a good place to go.
Carol went under the piano, and sometimes she'd go under there even if we weren't having a drill.
Interesting.
And I remember the windows. I remember sitting right here in the 8th grade and throwing spitballs on a chalkboard.
You were throwing them?
Oh yeah! I had to keep up with the boys.
And then you go to the paddle room.
And then you went to the paddle room?
No,
Did you ever get paddle?
actually, the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade teacher, somebody in one of those classes did something, and no one would tell who it was. So he paddled all 3 classes.
Everybody?
Everybody got a SWAT.
Wow. Interesting.
Are you going to tell the flagpole story?
Oh, there used to be a flagpole out front,
Okay.
outside the corner.
Yeah.
And my brother, who's 7 years older than me, was kind of like the James Dean of the 50s type. And he came home one night and said, "Oh, where do you go to school to?" I bent the flagpole. And I got here, and it was all curved, and I was so proud.
She sounds like she was a troublemaker.
I want to know what kind of car it was.
Probably a 57 Ford Fairlane.
Okay, right. That's a cool car.
All right. Well, maybe we should go downstairs and see what downstairs is like.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Let's do it.
One boiler room, right here.
Yep.
We weren't allowed to go in the boiler rooms.
This is the one that makes me, I get a very upset stomach in this one.
Really?
Yeah. This was in our video, the first video. I was right back there.
It's heavy.
Yeah, I get a really upset stomach.
Yeah, it's heavy.
And when we opened that door, it made a difference. I forget, is that when the cat ball
Yes.
went off?
Yep.
We opened that door and it's like something came out of that closet.
Yes.
Now, where we really felt like we were talking to the girls was in this boiler room.
Yeah. Now, this was all open because of the steps. They were identical.
Oh, so there was another steps.
Yeah, notice the steps just like that one. And I remember standing on the steps one time and seeing a boy and a girl, upperclassmen, come out of the boiler room.
I'm sure they were just talking.
Right. I'm sure they were. I don't know if there's a light in here. Oh, yeah, duh. Yeah, so this is where we had set up and where we first really felt like we were talking to the girls that day. And we'll get into more about who those girls were to you when we get finished with our tour.
Really heavy.
Right? Yeah, and we felt like one of them was up here and one of them was down here. Yeah. So, all right, let's go on into get out of the makeout room and go into the other room.
Yeah, make out room.
Here we go again.
So this was an open area, and there was a stage right here. So there was chairs here.
And then was the younger,
This was enclosed. There was a door here and one down here. This was the first grade.
okay.
Mrs. Smith was the teacher and the principal, and she was awesome. And then down on this half then, the wall, and this half was the second grade.
Okay, so the first and second grade were down here.
First in this grade and second in that grade.
So how different is this than when you were, how different does it look than when you were here?
Oh, very different, because some of the walls are gone, and the doors, and the desk,
Yeah.
on the chalkboards.
So June, you saw our first episode from here. You reached out to me and said, I went to school there. And in fact, that episode, I don't know that we actually talked about who we thought we were speaking to. And you said, I went to school with Karen and her sisters, but you were good friends with Karen. And to refresh the viewer's memory, why don't you tell us about that fateful night and how you were almost there, etc.
Well, Karen and I became best friends in the 8th grade. That's when her family moved to the area. And we just became fast friends. Very sweet girl. So she had asked me to stay all night with her on a Friday night. And I said, okay. And we got on the bus, and I just told her, I can't stay all night. My father is sick with cancer, and I want to spend as much time with him as I can. So we went to our own houses. The next morning, Saturday, I was sitting in a chair, and I was reading, and I had the radio on, and I thought, this is a beautiful day. It was September 29th. And the sun was so bright, and the sky was so blue. And then on the radio came about the fire, and that all the children were lost. And I thought, oh, I was almost there. And I didn't believe it. So I called Karen's house, and her mother, Mina, answered. And I asked for Karen, and she said, don't you know? And I said, yes, but I didn't believe it. And I thought a lot over the years. I mean, that had a great impact on my life. And I thought over the years, why? Why was I not there? And the only thing I could figure was that I was meant to be with my father as much as I could.
Right.
And Mina reached out to me, and we became really close for about 3 years. I would go, when they moved back to their home, I would go and spend time with them in the summer. And I think I was feeling a void for her and Walter, and they were filling one for me because I had lost my father. So we kind of helped each other through it.
And they were, was it Columbus, Indiana?
Columbus, Indiana, yes.
And that's where all the kids are?
Yes, all the kids are buried there. Mina took me to see their graves. And there was like a monument in the center, and the graves, they're all in a circular pattern as where they sat at the table.
Beautiful is what came over.
What?
Beautiful is what came over the box.
What did?
Beautiful. So they were buried in a circle, and how they sat at the dinner table.
Sat around the table, the kitchen table.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course, Mina and Walter are buried there as well.
Right. And you said that their father, Walter, was a truck driver.
Yeah, he was a truck driver, and he wasn't home at the time of the fire. and he heard it on the radio. And just came home as quick as he could. And there were, after the fire, there were rumors going around school that Barry, the oldest, had been smoking in bed. Barry didn't smoke, and it was later determined it was faulty wiring in the house because it's an old house. So I'm glad his name was cleared.
Right. Well, if you recall in our video, prior to you and I talking, lies came through twice. We were told that there are 3 little girls that like to hang out here.
How many times has it ever just gone off once and stopped?
Lie again. You need to tell us about this lie. We're here to listen. Baseball came through. We're assuming the boys, especially Barry, probably played baseball, and the girls liked to watch him. So we feel like the lies were what the rumors that had gone around.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the girls wanted to just everybody to know that those were lies, that it was not their brother that caused their death. So the whole house wasn't.
No, it was mostly heavy smoke, and that's what took all the kids.
Was a smoke inhalation.
And mine and Walter slept downstairs, and all the kids slept upstairs. And Barry woke up and ran down and told his mom. And he ran back up, tried to wake everybody up. Now there was a fire escape on the side of the house from the upstairs, and Barry got Walter, the littlest, and he was at that door when he collapsed. Terry was still in her bed, and I don't know about the other 2 brothers where they were, but Karen was at her bedroom window on the floor clutching the curtains.
That's so sad. Ethel came through and eating. So Ethel and eating.
Ethel and who?
Eating.
Eating?
Eating.
Oh, eating? Ethel, I don't know.
Eating might be about how they were buried, etc.
Oh, okay, yeah. Eating, yeah.
Wilmer. There's a lot of, these could have been classmates. Do you remember an Ethel or a Wilmer?
No.
No. So we feel like we did connect with at least 2 of the girls. So there was 4 girls and 2 boys, right?
No. 3
and
girls,
3
3 boys.
3 and 3. And we felt like we were talking to 2 of the girls while we were here last time.
Right.
Probably the 2 younger ones, not Karen.
Right, Cheryl and Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you had said that people here had at times seen 3 girls.
Yes.
So I'm kind of thinking Karen kind of comes and goes, maybe?
Probably. Well, now Karen, was she a full sister to the other 2 girls?
No.
Okay.
Karen and Barry were half-sisters.
So I feel like when we said, were there 3 sisters, I forget the exact wording, but I feel like they didn't understand because Karen wasn't their full sister. So they said there was only 2 of them. We heard there were 3 little girls that like to hang out here, that used to go to school here. Yeah? Hi. Can you turn it? Oh wow. Wow, okay. Where's the 3rd little girl? Is there a 3rd one here somewhere? Can you maybe touch one of those shiny balls? Let us know. Are you sisters? Can you turn on one of those? Yeah? Now there are conflicting stories. Some people told us there's 3 little girls. That is upstairs, by the way.
Yeah.
Some people told us there were 3 little girls, but Buffy told us he only saw 2. Can you turn on one of those flashlights if there were only 2 of you? Turn one of the flashlights on if there was only 2 of you. So So I feel like Karen being older, she comes and goes, but she just comes in to check on them because she was older and she wasn't their full sister. I would like to, we did have this cat ball go off before we started, and it hasn't done anything since, but Karen, Terry, or what was the other one's name? Cheryl. Karen, Terry, Cheryl, Barry, what were the other two boys, do you remember?
Walter and I think Bobby, not sure.
Something, yeah. If any of you are here and want to reach out to us and talk to us, or talk to June, who knew you, please light one of these devices up as you did before. You don't have to be afraid. We're just here telling your story now that we have facts of what happened that night. I think they're probably really happy that, you know, we're doing this. Do you feel anything right now? Do you feel any connection with Karen while we're in this room?
I feel a closeness.
Brave.
What was it?
Brave.
Brave. I feel a closeness. I have held Karen in my heart for 60 years. Why? I don't know.
Let's see this card. This picture. This is a picture. It was her 8th grade. 8th grade. Can you see that?
A little closer. Down a little bit lower. Okay.
So that was Karen's 8th grade picture. 1948. Separate. Do you want to say, is there anything else you want to say to Karen other than you've held her in your heart for 60 years?
Well, Karen, you and I were only best friends for a short time, but we were close. We were at that age where we were just starting to make friends. Had a lot of friends, but not a close friend, but you and I got really close. And I was just devastated when it happened. But as you know, I got really close to your mom and dad for quite a few years. And still love you, and I still think about you all the time.
Right. I wish she'd give us a sign. Karen, if you can give us a sign, we would really appreciate that.
I would love to know that you're here.
I don't feel as much in this room
No.
as I do in other rooms. And
Yeah.
unfortunately for the viewers, we're really, we're in a corner of this place. They're having Taco Tuesday. This place is open 7 days a week. It is an AMVETS Post, and it's really hard to get in here when there aren't people here everywhere. As you know, if you watched our videos, because they were very loud, but they did allow us to come in this corner of the building and do this little interview, and it might have been Karen that set this cat ball off when we were getting ready, because it did light up earlier.
Oh, did it?
We just don't have it on film.
Okay.
But, well, I hope that helps you in being able to, I'm gonna start crying, being able to tell the story and tell Karen how you feel if she is here and hears you, which I, in my heart, believe she is. So.
It does help me, and there'll never be closure. That's kind of a overused term, I think.
I agree.
But she knows how much I cared about her, and I know she's here. And I know Terry and Cheryl are here. And I hope they're happy and at peace. And I think they probably are, because they were such a close family, all of them.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they're all together now.
I feel like us being able to talk about the lies and to clear that up, I really hope that helps them find
Yes.
more peace.
Oh, I do too, because that was very infuriating, that rumor was going around.
Absolutely.
And Barry tried to save them all that night. A lot of strong love. They were a beautiful family, and I'm glad I got to.
It said brave. He was the brave one.
Yes, he was.
And you're the brave one to come do this on camera with us too, and to come back to this place after all these years.
Well, thank you. It was my pleasure to come back, and especially my pleasure to be able to talk to the girls, because I know it's them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jim. And she's a really good supporter of ours, so everybody else should subscribe too, shouldn't they?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
should. Hey, lovelies, that wraps up another episode of the Get Spooky Society here in West Harrison, Indiana, at the AMVETS, current AMVETS location that once was June's school. She went here from the 1st to the 8th grade. We came here and she was able to say her piece to her best friend and her sisters that we feel are still around here, and you'll have to watch the video to see why. But we thank you, June, for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you for asking me.
It's so amazing for us to be able to confirm things that we didn't know when we did the investigation. So, if you have not, please smash that subscribe button, give us a huge thumbs up, share, comment, anything you do for free helps our channel. And until next time, stay
Stay spooky.